Hi, thanks for watching this video. My name is Jocelyn, and if this is your first time coming to my YouTube channel and you're wondering what this channel is all about, it's about taking songs, analyzing them, sharing what I learned, and giving you that information for those that are interested in getting a little bit better or just starting off songwriting and you're just sort of lost and you don't know what to do. Again, my name is Jocelyn. I am a musician. I play the piano mainly. I do a little bit of vocals, and I like to songwrite. And the videos that I talk about, I do a portion that talks about the music and a portion talk about the lyrics. This isn't so much an analysis. It's not a critique of the song, because honestly, I don't think I could be any better than Lionel Richie. But it's about taking parts of the song that I find that to be interesting and figuring out how you can incorporate them and how I incorporate them into my own songwriting experiences. So let's talk about Hello. Oh gosh, it's a little bit of a treat because I just analyzed this song this morning, so I haven't been doing this. I haven't been listening to this a lot and have a lot of things in my mind, so it really didn't take that long to do. And what I encourage you to do is find songs that you like. And this is not about what's the chord progression or trying to make the song your own. It's about picking out little parts, and therefore when you are writing, to say, you know what, something's a little bit off, or I need something. What are some things that I can add in? And when I first started, I just wrote everything down. And sometimes I still do that. I have notes here that I write down. But after a while, you'll start to remember, and you'll actually start finding that you're like, I do this exact same thing, and I really like doing a particular thing. So let's talk about Hello. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about it, play a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is play the verse and the chorus, and then talk to you sort of while that is actually going on. Now, when I analyze songs, I have a tendency to pull the sheet music. And oftentimes you can find the sheet music online, or you can find the draft on the first notes. If not, then you can do guitar tabs or something of that nature to find what the chord progression is. But oftentimes when I do when I do use things like guitar tabs, it's 4 or 5 different versions. It just depends on if you want more of the original stuff, if you want a little softer, if you want a different key. Therefore, I'd like to pull the sheet music because that gives me a little bit more understanding of what the chords are and other things that are in there that I probably can't see if I'm just looking at the chords. The first thing that I notice is that it's in the key of C, okay? And very common key that people like to write in. I like to write in the key of C. It's an easy key. I will tell you, if you're playing the piano and you're just starting out and you're just trying to get chords, this is a really easy song to learn. And everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. So definitely take a chance at figuring out, even if it's just getting the chords and just playing the chords. It's a really easy song to play. Now, the next thing I notice is that the first chord is actually A minor. And this is where oftentimes these chord websites mess up, because they'll say, what's the key? A minor. I don't write in a key of A minor because I just write in 7 major keys, because it's just easier to do, because if you're doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and you're writing the chord progression, if you're doing minor, it's completely different. It's the key of C. It just happens to start off on the A minor. Why does that work? Because A minor is the minor key of C major. Therefore, if you want something a little bit different, instead of starting off with whatever the chord is, which is typically what people do, I do it all the time too. If I'm writing in the key of C, the first chord is typically the C chord. And it works because it's a sad song. And we know that minor chords just sound sadder and more morose. Oh, that's a nice word. Right? So if I go from C and then go, sounds a lot more sadder, and that's the whole purpose of the song. We all know it's a love song. I'm missing you. I love you. I see you walking by. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Okay, so we start off with, it starts off on the minor key, not the minor key, the minor chord. And that could be any chord that you want to. But it's still in the key, still in the key of C, because A minor has no flats, no sharps. It's just A minor, which is the same notes that are in the key of C. Now, number 2, the song uses a lot of coloring. Now, I don't know if coloring is the is the technical word for it. I say coloring. That just means adding different things. It has add nines, major sevens, slash chords, a 6 chord, it has a 7 chord. It has a lot of coloring to it. And when I noticed, though, was when the beginning part, it had a lot of these coloring to it. Then when it transitioned into the chorus, it cut out all of those colorings. And I'm like, why? Well, when you add in the coloring, it kind of makes it more darker and a little more morose. And then when you cut all that out, it brightens up the song. So if you're having some difficulty trying to figure out how do I transition, how do I make, because the song is pretty steady. It doesn't have a lot of like build up. It's not like, going really fast and going back slow and stuff like that. The tempo is the same. The volume is about the same. So how do you go about changing it to where, there's my cat. How do you go about changing it to make it sound different? Especially if you're just playing the instrument yourself. If you're just out there like I am sometimes, all I've got is my piano. Sometimes I have musicians along with me, but if it's just me, how do I make that change? And therefore, maybe changing up the coloring. Color the verse, don't color the chorus. Now the first chord that's in here is A minor add 9. And then the other one was another one of like a 6. Now add 9s and 6s are oftentimes done in like R&B type music. He's from the Commodores, funk R&B type of thing back in the 70s. Now, and that makes sense. If you are looking at maybe adding in some elements from other music genres, it's nice to see what are some common chords that are, or chord progressions or common chords that are done in other types of music. Whether that is, I'm not going to go into different types of music. And the reason why I don't want to say is because I don't want to say something and then like be politically incorrect. If I say like, oh, this type of music, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, if you want to make it a pop song a little bit more R&B-ish, R&B song a little more poppy, look at some chords, look at some songs that you like and say, what are some chords that they have? So the first one is that A minor add 9. Now I noticed that, what are y'all doing? I swear. I noticed that when I'm playing on this piano here, which is just a little keyboard, it doesn't sound as like clashy as I do when I play on my Spinet, which is downstairs, or I play on my baby grand piano, which my parents have at their house. Therefore, if you want to kind of do a little, get a little bit better songwriting, upgrading the instrument does help, but that's all right. So the A minor, which is this, turn up the volume a little bit. All right, that's the A minor. If I add the A minor add 9, hear that clash, right? It's sort of, it works because you hear it. There's that one. I'll go a little bit lower. Sometimes lower makes it sound a little better. Oh man, that sounds nice. And it does have that sort of cats. It does have that R&B-ish sort of vibe to it. Right? Versus. So it has that sort of clashy to it. So, A add 9s are great. So they start off with this clashy chord, the very first part. Right? That's the very first chord. It's this big clash to it. Now, the other thing that I do is I look at things and I say, okay, what in this part of this song do I absolutely love? And it is the part where he's going from the end of the verse over into the chorus. And then I look that up and say, what is it that I like about it? Is it that I like the chord progression? Do I like the notes that are in the notes or something like this? The coloring that I like? And this particular part, what I like is that it makes a change where it majors the 6. It didn't matter. I went back and said it goes from a 4 to a major 6. Now, if I went from a 5, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what the chord progression was. So I thought to myself, okay, if I'm in a situation where I want something to really kind of transition and get the audience ready, I like just having that major 6, and it's right before the chorus. So So let me play this for you. It starts off with hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? The 6th major. And then back to the that's so pretty. To me, that's just a nice little transition. It's just majoring that 6. And then I found this to be the same thing like with the respect video that I did, a little respect from Eraser, whereas that they majored the 3. So majoring a 6 is an option for when you want to kind of get some sort of transition, if it's the 6 that you're on. And I don't think it matters if it's the 6 or the 3, but I think 3 and 6 have a tendency to be very commonly majored. Then I talked about how the fact that the song just goes into a normal, just the normal chords without any of the coloring in it. The other thing that I noticed, and that also was done in the Little Respect by Eraser, is that they flat the 7. And it's this part right here, and it says, I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile, you're all right. That's a nice little thing. So if you're sort of going around, and what I find also oftentimes is when I'm writing something and I'm trying to play around and I hit a wrong note, I go, oh, that's the wrong note. I go, wait a minute, because that's not in the key, right? B flat is not in the key of C. But I'm like, wait a minute, that's what I like. Keep it in there. It's all right. You don't have to go through and say, oh, everyone has to be a major 1, a flat 2 and 3. No, I mean major 1, minor 2 and 3. Flip it up. Do whatever you want to. If it sounds good to you, keep it. And that's why I record myself a lot. I have too many videos and I have to keep deleting myself a lot of times because I have a tendency to record myself a lot, because I'll hit something and I'm like, if I don't write it down, or if I don't, and that's also why I have a pen and paper near me. So if that does happen, I can write it down and say, you know what, change this and that sounds a little bit better. The next thing that he does is that he has an augmented. I like augmented notes myself. Augmented just means that it goes up a half step, and it augments the E, augmented down to the E. And what's nice about this, if you're a pianist, is it just moves the pinky up. So I just go 1 up and then down. So, and it's like that whole little phrase right here is really nice. So it's like, you're all I ever wanted. Right? That's really pretty too. Kind of. Where does it go to? Oh, no, and then back to A minor. All right, so augmenting notes is really nice. If you just, and sometimes what'll happen is I'm just hearing something and I'm humming in my head, like, where's the song going? Where do I, as the artist, am I taking this song? Right? And just humming stuff. And you hum it and you go, what is that I hear? And then I just try to find the note based off. And that's the best thing about playing songwriting on a piano. It's much easier to figure out the song because you just figure out the note because you just fumble around till you actually find it. The next thing that they do is they do a 3-note. Lionel Richie was the one who wrote it, so I shouldn't say they. He does a 3-note, which is not really a motif, just I call it a diddly-do. Like something in the middle that kind of helps out the song a little bit, and it's my cats are going crazy today. So it's just open wide. 3 notes. 3 notes side by side. It's the A, the B, and the C. And it just goes up and down. And that's a really nice thing to add in, just something where you're like, it needs a little something. Like, that's all we're doing. It's like, it needs a little something. Maybe you're right here. So it says arms are open wide. It ends on the C. No, actually, all I ever wanted. And it starts on that E, ends on that E, and then D, 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 D. Now, here's the interesting thing about the next one, is that we have this little dilly-do, A, B, C, B, A. Now, they actually add the chords in. And that's a nice thing to do. You got the note. Actually, sorry. And you're like, that's not right. Like, like, that's not what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing this note. Tends to kind of drown out, and sometimes I'll just move it down an octave. Like, no, that's not it. If the A is what I want to hit on, what I'll do is say, okay, all right, the A is the bass, change it to where the A is the middle note, which is the C, which is the F, sorry. No, that's not it. All right, we'll change it to where the A is the top note, which is the D minor. That's it, right? So fumble around a little bit with the keys and not the keys, with the notes and the chords and stuff to figure out some things that'll work best for you. And that's pretty much the song and the things that I found really interesting about the song. So what I'll do is I'll play a little bit for you. See if I can get myself together here. I need like a real stand. I don't have a stand because I don't typically play that up here. I try to memorize the song a little bit, but I didn't have much time to memorize the song. So play a little bit for you. I'm going to play the introduction, and I'm going to play the verse and the chorus so you can hear what I'm talking about, and I'll tell you, hey, this is what's going on. So we'll start with the A minor add 9. Hear that clash? We got some major 7s going on. We got a 6. Clash again. Major 7. To that, my favorite part. Isn't me I'm looking for that major 6. I can see it in your eyes. No coloring now. I can see it in your smile. Here comes that flat 7. We're all augmented. That walk up, that 3 part. And I know just what to say. And I know just what to do. I know want to tell you so. No. Sorry. I don't want to change the page, so let's see. And you notice what the and I want to tell you so much. I love you. Okay. Hopefully. Yeah. So luckily that sounded pretty good to you. Anyway, so that is the end of this. So what are some takeaway points? Start off with the relative minor as that first chord. Start with a coloring on it. Add 9, maybe major, whatever. Add a lot of coloring to one. Take out the coloring and just play the notes to make it that transition sound good. Find a song and figure out what is that part that you like. For me, it's that majoring of the 6 that I like. It doesn't matter what note came before it. It is the major of the 6. Figure out some ways of adding in just a little bit of flavors to it with like the augmented dun, dun, and then that 3, those 3 notes is if you hit a note, try different types of notes to figure out, try the different chords. If it's the A that you hit and you're like, okay, I'll hit the A note, A chord, A minor chord, you're like, that's not it. Figure out what other chords with the A or whatever note you're fitting into and do on that, and flatten 7s. That's what I typically like. Okay, hopefully you like this video and you find it enjoyable. Let me know, what are your favorite parts of this song? Are there any other songs that you like? That give me some suggestions on good songs to do, and I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you next time. Or make sure you watch the one about the lyrics. I'll put that in the description as well. Thanks, bye.